And then like the priority thing, like we're going to move on to another topic, but this is really cool, is that often when people are working a lot and I tell them, hey, maybe you should like meditate or go to the gym to be healthy, and they're like, no, I don't have time, like I'm busy all day. As I'm like, you do have time, but your priority is money or your work instead of your health. So it's not that you don't have time, but you don't pick that. So your priority is somewhere else.
Absolutely. And your priority could be your TV show or something that like is not going to benefit your future. So it may not even be work. And you're instead focused on this TV show or whatever is not really benefiting your future, when that is actually causing you to be angry or lash out at people. And like you said, like, what are you yelling at me for? What are you so angry for? And that's usually what it is. They're just not taking the time to focus on, the priorities, the real priorities.
Exactly. So the excuse of I don't have time, that's nonsense. We all have 24 hours a day.
Exactly. Exactly. If you have time, then absolutely everyone else has time. I mean, what do you do all day? Do you just sit on your ass? I don't think so. And that's why whenever I hear that excuse, I always feel like it's ridiculous. I'm like, it's a priority thing. It really is. It comes down to priorities.
Yeah, and I really have to think about like what is important to me in my life. And if people don't make priority for their health, I'm like, why don't you think that's important? Because it doesn't affect them on the short term, but later on they realize like, ah, shit, like we discussed this last time as well. Like if you don't make time for your health, you're gonna have to make time for your sickness, which is a priority, but you just don't realize that.
Yeah, this is like the whole thing of it too. Is like, especially when we're younger, we love to tell ourselves like, because we feel invincible, man. Like you could sleep 2 hours and still work all day. You know what I mean? You could drink all night, still get up and do your stuff. These things start to go away, and that's because the priority wasn't your health. And I think like a lot of people that haven't gone into, or if you don't really aren't aware of what health is, it's really easy to stay trapped in that, like, the parts that just aren't priorities in your life, and health should be a major priority, if not the top priority of your life, even if you are healthy, because this thing, it could get taken from you, So I agree with you.
Exactly. And with priority, the thing is as well, is like people often say like, let's say playing guitar, for instance. Like I don't have the time to play guitar all day. I'm like, you can make time. And then they're like, yeah, but then I don't have enough money for my work. I said, that's the consequence. Like there's a choice and then there's a consequence. So if you choose to play guitar all day long, you're probably going to earn less money to pay for a beautiful house or whatever. That's the consequence. But if you choose for your house and for your money and your job, and then you're going to nag about the fact you don't have time for guitar, well, that's just the consequence of your choice. So pick one, face the consequence, and don't bitch about it.
Love it, man. I love it. And I think another thing to add to that too is like, you could predict your future by the things you do today. And of course, it's going to vary per person. But like, I think that the main thing we all need to do is just be like, if I watch TV today, how is that going to affect my future? If I work out today, how is that going to affect my future? And if you start asking yourself those questions, you could start rearranging what priorities are. And maybe people don't get this deep about like what they're doing on a daily basis. But like, if you do and you start to pick apart those things, that's how you could create better momentum for your life.
But that's also kind of like our environmental issues at the moment. It's so hard for our policies to pick for the long term. And I'm like, why is that so hard? Like, why can we not choose for the long term? Like, what's up with that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm very baffled by it all as well, man. Like, I really like a lot of the choices I see people making. It's really like, it's very short term. And I agree with you. Like why are we not trying to make changes now that may hurt certain people, like pocketbook or whatever it is that's holding them back now, but in the future it's going to benefit everybody. So why not make that sacrifice now? And like, I don't know, that's how I've always thought of things. So it's very baffling for sure.